Hello, happy Tuesday, everyone. It's Meredith. I'm here with our message for the 26th of April. And thank you. Thank you for being here, for your comments, your likes, shares, all of it. So appreciated. Let's check out the energy atmosphere of the moon phase. Our moon is in Pisces, and we are using the This Might Hurt Tarot. I know, right? It might. Okay, our first card. Hey, here's the King of Wands again. He was in yesterday's reading. He was on the other side of the reading, though. Still our first card out. King of Wands. I love how he's done in this card. You know, he's calm, cool, collected there, sitting by a fire, tending the fire. And the moon and its influence upon us has everything to do with the most sensitive aspects of our personality, of our inner self relationship. And here we have this passionate, fiery energy. Gorgeous, right? So what I sense here with the King of Wands and his presence is there's no holding back our rich, emotional beingness, and it is something that is so often held back. We've been talking about this here on the channel for a while, about potentially watering down our personality, our true nature, and the cards have been encouraging us not to do that at all. We have a soulful presence, and it is meant to be expressed, and I feel that the cards are pointing us toward yielding to our soulful presence and allowing that to be exactly what it is, not watered down. Full throttle you. So bring it. Tend that passionate fire in yourself. I'm also feeling that that happens because we want to not only make other people comfortable in our presence, we tend toward avoiding judgment from others on our personality, our opinion. And there's an essence of tearing that energy away, like ripping off a band-aid, like no more. Just, yeah, be you, right? Oh, I love that. Okay, our next card. Ooh, another king. So some more divine masculine energy showing up. This is action. So we have the King of Wands and now the King of Pentacles. You know I love this king. He's so grounded. So this is grounded, fiery, passionate you. And where are you going with that energy? Where are you taking it? How are you investing it? In your self-relationship, in the vulnerability of your sovereign nature. Ooh. And how is this paying a reward forward for you? There's been a lot of consideration in the tarot cards lately for examining that question. How are you investing in your vision? What actions are you taking? And the atmosphere is quite supportive of us taking action. So we're being encouraged not to hold ourselves back, not to water ourselves down, live in our true, wild, untamed nature, right? So what will happen if you do that? It's worth exploring, right? Let's see what our next card is. I'm almost a little tentative to turn this one over. And with good reason. Here's the Devil. Wow, the artwork is a bit dark in color, as in a little difficult to see. I hope you're able to see that well. So let's talk about the Devil. We were talking about the Devil the other day. I've been reading up on this card. It's a card that I've not invested a lot of my attention in. And as I was reading about the card, I discovered that this is a representation of the Archangel Uriel, meaning flame of God. So there's illumination to be had here on such a dark card. And I don't mean dark as in dark energy. This is a shadow aspect of ourselves. And the question I'm sensing here is, how much of our true nature have we stuffed into the shadow? And how much benefit could we be receiving from bringing our true nature into the light, into the fire? I like that question. What do you have to say about that? Leave some comments. Our next two cards. Wow. Look at this energy. Here's now the Knight of Pentacles. I love that he's on a motorcycle. This is great. You know, he's usually at a standstill on a horse. And that's just the thing about the Knight. He gets the lay of the land. And this is about going over the fine details. This Knight doesn't miss a trick. And he doesn't take action until he's good and ready. And I find it very interesting that we're being encouraged to go deeper into our true nature and to move forward in our soulful presence. So there is something within us being illuminated, flame of God, devil card, at this time that shows us perhaps what we have been afraid to put into the light. And I'm sensing some shoulds here. I should do this. I shouldn't do that. What will someone else think? What will others think? Who cares? I know it's a conversation so many of us have had with ourselves and with our nearest and dearest. Let's go deeper with that question though, because if we're holding something of our true nature back that is really meant to shine and inspire not only ourselves but others, why then would we be doing that? So I feel that the Knight of Pentacles is a message of move forward comfortably, in a comfortable way for your own self. As you draw out into the light an aspect of your personality that is inspiring, consider it. And then, wow. And then we have this Star, because there's abundant energy to work with in that gorgeous inspiration of your soulful presence and what is meant to shine. Look at all those stars. What is meant to shine on your foundation. I feel us moving in a new direction, and I feel us being less insecure and much more bold, and we're far more comfortable at being bold. And the Devil card is one of those cards that says, should you be bold? What a horrible question. But that's what programming does. That's what belief system does. And that's how we end up not shining our light, right? Okay, before we move on to the next part of the reading, I don't know why this is giving me the giggles, but I'm just tickled over these cards. Anyway, before we go on to the next part, let's take a look at the message from our soulful presence from the Awakened Soul deck. We have, how perfect. This card is called Boundaries. Though, let's take a look at the artwork and ignore the name of the card or the label of the card. And we have these two little lanterns, and we have this person appearing to draw a circle around themselves, like setting a boundary. I, however, feel as I'm looking at this card, it is the exploration of our sphere of influence and moving out to the edge of the sphere of influence where we might be just a little bit more uncomfortable, but it's lit. You see the lanterns there, and that's what I'm feeling from the cards over here with the Devil and these beautiful kings and this Knight moving us into the light of the Star, which is, of course, a manifestation card. It is a creation card. It's very inspirational. You know, it follows the Tower. We talk about that so often, right? So let's explore the outer edges. Let's get comfortable out on the edge of our own sphere of influence and ask ourselves, where could we expand here? How much further could we expand? And that's the fire we've been tending there on the King of Wands. That's the grounded integration of self-relationship in sovereignty, vulnerably so, shining our light here. Being a flame, a light in our own darkness, and moving comfortably into that so that we can bring even greater gifts into our life, onto our foundation, within our sphere of influence. And then we have that to share too. And then magnetically, it'll be reflected back to us. We will draw to us like energies. That gets exciting, doesn't it? All right, let's move on to the energy atmosphere of the day. We're using the After Tarot. I'm just in love with this deck right now. Our first card is, look at this, the Nine of Cups. So this deck is all about what happens moments after, right? And here we see this person who's been celebrating their Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups to the power of 9, a tremendous blessing flowing into our lives, a wish, a dream come true, so to speak, after a tremendous amount of investment in our vision, which is what we were talking about in yesterday's reading. And then we have what appears to be a servant coming with a plate of food. And my question here as I look at this, how are we in service to our own selves? How are we in service to our vision, our intention, our star card even? And how is that stretching the boundary or the outer edge of our sphere of influence? Where are we stretching ourselves? How are we sharing with ourselves? How are we serving the dream? Great questions. And then we have the Eight of Coins. You know, this feels like an answer to those questions. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working for you. And I feel, you know, the person on this card is taking a moment of pause to look at the work they've done and taking a moment even to admire their craftsmanship, their skill, and what they've done with their resources, which is even greater inspiration here for this beautiful boundary card that we're getting from the Awakened Soul deck. So take a moment and pause today. Ask yourself these questions. Consider what you can continue to invest in your goal, your dream, your intention. And does that align with your soulful presence, the true nature of your soulful presence? Is this being expressed? Our next card. Oh, wonderful. So talking about self-relationship, self-sovereignty, this can be a super vulnerable place to be, right? What will others say? What will others think? So we're back to the who cares, because look at us embracing our inner divine feminine, divine masculine, our relationship. And this sort of exquisite, unconditional loving kindness that we see here in connection on this card, blessed by divinity. You see the angel wings up there, a divine union. This is what we're bringing out in our sphere of influence. And this is exactly how we will be met. Ooh, see, that's exciting every day. Okay. Oh, nice. Here comes the sun again. We had it twice in yesterday's reading, and I have been in deeper consideration of this card as well. And you know it's the happiest in tarot. It's the happiest of the major arcana. There's love, bliss, joy. There's brilliant clarity. There is light shining everywhere. And that goes so nicely with the moon's aspect, the moon phase aspect of the reading, especially with the Devil card here. And I heard a reader say recently, and this so struck home for me, that the sun illuminates the subconscious. Just take a moment with that. The sun illuminates the subconscious, and this is where we're going to find some of the shadows, some of the unknown, possibly represented here by the Devil card. But now we're shining the brightest of flames into that shadow. It's powerful because what's in there that we have yet to bring out, right? What's in there that's underneath a pile of shoulds or should nots? Great question. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which I think is a wonderful and amazing card here because we have the star over here. This is manifestation energy. So out of this gorgeous illumination comes new opportunity, fresh perspective, and even a more solid, grounded foundation from which to orchestrate our beautiful, soulful expression from. And this connects so nicely. I think we had the Magician, and we may have had the Queen of Pentacles in yesterday's reading as well. If so, though, what we're doing is making something a reality, tangible, real, something to work with out of the blessings of our Nine of Cups and all the energy that we have invested in a divine union of self-relationship. So out of that comes great connection in our sphere of influence. We have it to share, and it's being shared back with us, which is amazing. I love this. Okay, let's take a look at what's on the bottom of the deck. This is fantastic. Look at this. Here's the Knight of Pentacles showing up for a second time, and notice there's a hoof off the ground. He's in motion. He is considered all he is going to consider at this time, and he's going forward, and I like that. Again, slowest Knight of them all, and coming back to the moon aspect of the reading where the Knight of Pentacles also appears, though on a motorcycle, potential speed there, faster than the horse. It does speak to us moving forward in a way that is comfortable to us. We're sticking our toes, star energy, we're sticking our toes in the water. We're getting comfortable with being out here on the edge. I like it. And then we have the Strength card, gorgeous. About this card, there, for me, as I look at the card, it's forever been a message of, again, not watering ourselves down, having the strength to be our true and authentic selves. And in traditional tarot, you see the maiden sticking her hand in the mouth of the lion. She's trusting that she won't be devoured. She could be at any moment. And here, look at this beautiful acceptance. This is another demonstration of how we are in self-relationship. We are in acceptance of our soulful presence. We are feeling much more comfortable with what's been in shadow, what's been kept under wraps in our personality, and bringing that out into the light. And there's a message here in the Strength card that it speaks to never attempting to tame a wild thing. So this comes back to our true nature. Let that out. You can't keep it tamed, and it's not meant to be. It'll find its way out anyway. And then look what comes next, but the Three of Swords. And this is a card that speaks to pain, loss, and sorrow of the past. Look at us being all bandaged up here, right? And most people aim this card right at relationships, prior relationships. Though, here we pay attention first and foremost to self-relationship, because as you know, if you don't have that, you don't have anything based on a solid foundation. And as we pull these swords out, consider these swords the unexpressed energies, the unexpressed inspirations of our personality, and our choice and decision to not live with the swords in our heart, not pierced in some way, in a painful, sorrowful way. We're not having it. And perhaps that's the pain that comes of keeping ourselves under wraps, watering ourselves down. Perhaps it does pierce our hearts in some way. And so having the boldness, having the courage, having the willingness to bring our true soulful presence out into the light is what allows for this beautiful movement into self-acceptance and brings this great, healing energy to our own heart space. Yeah, look, here's another card of illumination in the Hermit, and he's standing next to a wolf. Part of what's got me tuned into what the cards are saying about bringing our soulful presence into the light was a card from last week called the Shapeshifter out of the Awakened Soul deck. And you saw like Little Red Riding Hood with the wolf there. And here we have the Hermit with the wolf. See, this is the acceptance of our shadow, what's been in shadow, coming into the light. And you know, I had a download, an intuitive download the other day about the Hermit card, and it was simply this. Imagine that the Hermit is holding that lantern aloft so that we can see what we would rather hide about our own personality. And look what the lantern reveals, but this wolf. Our wild side. Let's go back to the Strength card. The part of us that's been sleeping dormant, or that out of programming and belief system somewhat perceptibly tamed. And it is only a perception, because it will not remain that way. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is really pretty. I was going to stop right there, though. Look. Here's the Two of Swords. This is a card about making a choice and a decision, going within to do that, shutting out the outside world to listen to our intuitive wisdom, going within our inner oracle. And what do we find there with the Ace of Cups? And look at that heart. Look what happens when you pull those swords out of it. You release an overflow of blessing that truly does come from the heart space. You are your own blessing. Oh, that's just beautiful. All right. Angel answers. Ask a question if you have one. Let them confirm something that's relevant to you, unique to you. I will relate them to our reading. You know, just backing up that Two of Swords, Ace of Cups, there is listen to your intuition. Go there. Trust what you discover there. Don't ever stop going there. It's up to you. It is up to you. And I feel that's connected to the Devil card. To keep your soulful presence and self-expression in the shadow, or to comfortably at your own pace, bring it out into the light. That's your choice. Okay, last, not least, from Wisdom of the Oracle, we had 2 cards fall out of the shuffle. These cards are meant to be something, you know, a point of consideration, contemplation for the day, a meditation even. Our first is, look at that, Loyal Heart, beautiful connection to the Two of Cups that we saw earlier on here. This is us in divine union with our own heart space. This is what we have on offer, and this is what we are attracting, other loyal hearts within our sphere of influence. Let's come back to that gorgeous card right there. And what happens when you do that? You experience the land of milk and honey within self, don't you? This is such a divine celebration card. It's the Ace of Cups, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Right here, it's all in the reading, and it's right here in this Oracle card. So embrace your own loyal heart. Dare to bring your wild side out into the light. And share that. All right, everybody, have a beautiful Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. Peace, love, blessings. Namaste.